Hello everyone and welcome back to Hunting Simulator 2. So the game's been out for about a month or so now, and I think it's time to start talking about what we kind of need to see from the developers in terms of an update for this game. Now, in the current state, the game is by no means bad. We have a hunting simulation game with essentially three things to do. Level up all the dogs, fill out the lodge, and complete your gun room. That's pretty much what you got. Once you're done with those things, you're pretty much done with the game. But really, the game has potential to be a lot more. So I thought today would be a good time to kind of discuss what we kind of need to see out of the developers. So, in terms of an update, the developers really do not need to add much more content to this. We have 6 hunting zones, and they're all fine. They're large, they're fun to hunt. You can change your strategy for each one. They're good. But we need to see more from the actual areas. And what I mean by that is animals. So there needs to be a change made to the amount of animals and the types of animals. And I'll explain. So currently in the game, you typically see about two maximum of each animals. And I mean like when you go out and you see your animals, there's going to be probably either a pair of them or just one of them. And that's fine, but it's always going to be either one in the pair is a trophy and the other one's a female, or they're both two, relatively small males. So the most common animal to see really is a trophy. I mean, when you go out elk hunting in Pawnee Meadows, you can pretty much guarantee yourself a trophy elk worthy of going up on the wall in you can get yourself one in 5 minutes. And it's not that hard. So what the developers need to do is decrease the frequency that we see trophy animals, but increase the number of animals as a whole. So that way we can kind of have this balance of, one that feels special. Because at the moment, not a lot of animals in this game feel special to get. I mean, the bison is certainly rare, but every time you do come across an animal, there's usually one large one to the point where you're like, yeah, I can put that on the wall. So we just need to see an increase in the total amount of animals, but a decrease in the amount of trophies, and that would change the game for the better because people will have to play the game more to find where their trophies are. And if there are more animals in the game and people are getting a better enjoyment out of it, then people will want to play more, and it's kind of it benefits all the way around. So the next thing they need to patch is obviously, the glitches. I made a video the other day about 4 small glitches and details in this game, and I pointed out just some things the devs missed. And I've heard from one of my subscribers that one of the trophies for unlocking all of the dogs up to like 100 doesn't unlock. And all they get is, we're looking into this. So we need a little bit better communication on the side of glitches and what they're trying to work on. Because really, the longer glitches are in the game, the less people are going to want to play it. They need to get those out of there and smooth out what they currently have so it's a better experience. Now, what we also need out of Hunting Simulator 2 is more to do. Now, going out hunting in this game is more than fine. It's fun, it's great, but what I mean in the terms of more to do is we really don't have much to work on. Once you finish your lodge and your gun room, you're pretty much done with the game. There's not much else for you to do. If you finish your lodge and your gun room before you level all the dogs to 100, you really don't have any incentive to go back and level all the dogs because you're not really doing anything that matters. We need something in the game that's a little more of an end game grind for people to work on. Because right now we got nothing. So what could they add? Well, there are a couple things. We could have maybe a daily challenge, like go out and just get one of these animals for some extra credits or something. Do something to where when you log into the game, you feel like, okay, here's something to work on, and not just, am I going to go out and find an animal or no? Because we really need something in this game to really work on consistently. Because finishing the lodge in the gun room is not very challenging. And once you're done with that, you're done. So, some other things they could add. Like, we don't need a season pass for this game. We just need basic basic stuff. I mean, come on, try having a leaderboard to see who got the most animals in what region for a week. Like, try something to the point where people can feel like there's something else in this game to do. Because honestly, if the game does not get some other things to kind of work for, it's going to die off relatively easily. So, I mean, the current state of the game, fine. You can go out and complete your lodge and just be done with it. That's okay. But the game has so much more potential to be something more, and they really should add to this. So, some other things that the devs need to do is make the guns feel different. Now, the only thing different about guns right now are the caliber. That's it. When what you can shoot an animal with. You can't take your 223 yet to shoot an elk. You got to have the right caliber of rifle for each animal. And when you're shooting them, there's no difference. You can use them all they all shoot at the exact same range. I mean, sure, if you probably played around with them enough, you can maybe spot a tiny difference, but there's not enough of a difference for you to choose one rifle over another rifle. It would be much, much, much better if I had to change what 30-06 I was using, depending on whether I was in the Bandera region or Roosevelt Forest. There should be kind of a difference. Because really, if you have a ton of guns in this game, and that's a lot of potential for great content to challenge players to mix up their loadouts, but there's not enough variety in it for it to really matter. So it's just frustrating. And the clothing, I mean, the visibility, the temperature, they tell you all that about what piece of clothing works best and, what conditions. But that doesn't really have much of an effect either. So they have these nice features in the game, but they're underused. It really should matter what clothing I go out in. At the moment, it doesn't. I can go out in any region, whatever I want, and still walk away with some animals. There's really no benefits to changing your clothes based off of the region. They need to have kind of a more benefit to wearing the proper clothes for the region. So, some other things the devs can really add to this game is, I mean, do something else with the regions. I mean, fine. Give me like a contract to work on. Give me something. Have me go, put something out in that map that I have to go look at. But don't, like, you can leave it the way it is, but if you want the game to continue, you gotta put something else in. Have me go, fine, add a photo mode. Let me go take pictures of different animals and bring it back. Give me something else to do besides strictly hunting. I understand that it's a hunting simulator. That's what the dev's goal is, but they have so much potential to do other things with it. So, I mean, if they do leave the game the exact way it is, it's fine. But considering that, I mean, this is a pretty big hunting title. You paid $50 for this game. There really should be an update for something. At least fix the glitches in it. Because the glitches are just, I mean, come on. I didn't pay $50 for a game that's entirely glitchy. I don't like scoping in and having the frame rate drop a ton. I do not like scoping in and seeing all the little green and purple fuzz at the bottom of the scope. Like, stuff like that is just annoying. So, at least patch the game and then call it good, but the devs cannot leave the game in the current state that it's in. It's glitchy, there's not a lot to do, and they need to do something else with it because, frankly, if they don't, then once you finish off your lodge, you're done with the game, there's not much else to cover. And I would like to keep covering this game for a while. I enjoy hunting simulator games, but in comparison to some of the other hunting games, this game falls very far short of the competition. The Hunter Call of the Wild, that game is still getting new maps added, and it's fantastic. This one, I understand that's brand new, but we need to see something more out of the devs in terms of content, and honestly, they need to do it quick. So that's all my thoughts on what they could do for an update. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below on what else you'd like to see in terms of an update. Anyway, see ya.